friend. His name is Bob. Hi, Bob. He's not here. But Bob is my mentor. And do yourself a favor and follow at Bob Goff, G-O-F-F on Twitter, okay? Bob is a guy that I met about 10 years ago. And he is one of the guys that told me I should be singing, that I should be singing my own songs. See, I was a songwriter before I was a singer. And I was afraid to get up on the stage and let my story and my life kind of be on a public platform. But Bob said, what are you afraid of? Jesus walks before you. There's nothing to be afraid of. So I started singing, and then Bob took me to this place, this country called India. And I saw for the first time poverty. I'd never really seen it before. I grew up in Tennessee, and I've seen what I thought was poverty, but I'd never seen it like this before. And I saw some of the effects of it. And one were 3 little girls standing out in front of a storefront. And I don't have to tell you what those little girls are doing there, because you probably know. If you don't know, human trafficking is a big problem in the world. And I got to see it with my own eyes in 2005 for the first time. And I remember feeling this urge to pull those girls into the van that we were in and take them out of their bondage. But it's so much more complicated than that. We Americans think there's an easy way to just go in and fix things. And we can't. And the problem often seems bigger. And it actually is bigger than us. But it's not bigger than our God. Amen? So this is something that I'm starting to realize for myself. For years and years, I have followed my mentor, Bob, overseas. Lately, we've been going to Uganda. And he started a school there called Restore International, or it's called Restore Academy. Anyway, I went there. I've been there 3 times now, and I'm making friends in Uganda. Some of my own friends that I keep in touch with. One is a sponsor child of mine that I sponsor through Food for the Hungry. I'm going to be taking a trip, and I've always kind of been under Bob's wing, but I really want to do something on my own. So I talked to my friends at Food for the Hungry, and they're partnering with me. I'm going to go back to Uganda. I want to start a whole new initiative. And it's going to take place in the northern part of Uganda. So, my volunteers. Hey, what's your name again? Spencer. Give it up for Spencer, y'all. And Emily. Step on the second step there. Are you afraid of heights, Emily? Okay, you're fine. Second step, promise and sturdy. Okay, so that first sheet right there, the very first one, hold that up and then stretch it out so everybody can see. Okay, here's a little rudimentary sketch of it of Africa. So there's Africa. Right there, you can see Uganda. Okay? It's kind of, Lake Victoria is a huge lake right here towards the bottom. The upper part is the northern part, and it's called the Kingdom District. Now, I've been just below there to Gulu, but I've never been that far north. So you guys can drop that one. Drop that one. Hold up the next one. Okay, so in the north, there was a guy named Joseph Kony who started this army called the Lord's Resistance Army. You guys ever heard of Invisible Children before? Yeah, it's an amazing story. Look it up when you go home. There's a short film that they did called Invisible Children. Well, Kony was taking a lot of kids and putting them into his army. Often you had to get into his army by killing your own family. So these kids are victims of things that we can't even fathom, that I had never even had a nightmare about. So they've been exposed to amazingly horrific things. Kigom is about as north as you can go. Just north of Kigom is Sudan, which is kind of where the Lord's Resistance Army has fled. That's kind of where they're hanging out right now. But a lot of these kids have been left over to I love kids. I grew up in Young Life. Do you guys know what Young Life is? Okay. So Young Life is where my love for kids. I was a Young Life kid myself. That's how I learned about Jesus. So we want to focus on kids in the northern part of Uganda, in the Kikum district, in a small area called the Chua Dagwash. Now again, I've never been there, but I'm going there in May. Okay? You can drive this. So there's about 1,900 people that live in this area, and about 920 kids that are of school age. So there's a lot of needs. You guys can go up to the next one. Are your arms getting tired yet? You okay? You good? Okay, there you go. So these are some of the needs in that area. Obviously, poverty is kind of the thing that keeps them from realizing their potential. A lot of times, poverty, it limits our belief even in ourselves. And we kind of get stuck in this rut that it's hard to get out of mentally and in reality. So we are the brothers and sisters of these people in the area. A lot of the names that you'll see out there, Grace, Mercy, they name their kids these names because they're believers. So these people literally are our brothers and sisters. So they have a lot of needs. Like most of Africa, they don't have a lot of water. Their water supply is poor. They have 2 wells, one of which is broken. I want to fix that well. The other well is kind of working. It's supposed to feed to supply 1,900 people. It's barely working. So we want to get both of these wells up and working again. One of the things that a big need there, HIV and AIDS, is a huge epidemic in Africa. We want to put a clinic. It's a little more locally located, so they can easily access this place. Right now, it's 4 miles away. It's run by the government, and as most of us know, the government doesn't run really well. Neither does our government run very well in Africa. So I tend to believe it's not on the shoulders of their government. It's on our shoulders, the church. So I want to figure out how we can help, okay? Discipleship and counseling. Counseling, these are kids, girls who have been abused, boys who have killed many, many people. We want to start fresh with them. We want to supply counseling to them. Food for the Hungry will bring counselors into the area, okay? And last but not least, we want to build a school. You guys can drop that. You guys do this. So, there's a school that we want to build in that area. And like I said, there's 922 kids who are at the age that they are ready to learn. So we want to give them every opportunity to learn like we've been able to learn. Our public schools, as broken as they may be on politics sometimes and limited funding, at least most of us know how to read. I think what I heard, what's the percentage? Literacy? 57% literacy. So, man, that can change. If Food for the Hungry comes, another thing they want to do is bring teachers. So, we want to help them with agriculture. We want to help them with their water. We want to help them get a clinic. And these are all things that I know can be accomplished because Food for the Hungry has been doing this for like half a century. They've been doing this. Their plan is to be there for 7 years. They just I watched a video today that Crystal sent me today. By the way, these are our volunteers, and you're going to meet them in a minute from Food for the Hungry. But I got to see what a neighborhood looks like after Food for the Hungry has been in, and what they say developed. I've got to see what it looks like. They were having a parade. The kids were in their school uniforms. It was the most joyful thing I think I've ever seen. Because of all the brokenness that's happened there, these are hopeful people. And so I want for us to give them that hope. That hope literally comes from God, but we are the body. So we have so many resources as Americans, even in our tough economic time. I believe in giving even in our poverty. Because our poverty can't even approach theirs. They live on $300 a year, which is 82 cents a day. So they need us. and I've heard the need. I want to go. I'm going in May. So here's the thing. Hold up the last sheet. I'm going. And my goal, and last night we exceeded our goal. It was amazing. So my goal every night is to get 20 sponsorships. That's 250 sponsorships by the end of this tour. What is a sponsorship? It's a commitment of $32 a month, which is roughly $1 a day. And I want to talk to families. I'm not just talking to individuals. I know that a lot of families have come here tonight. That's one of the great things about the church, the Christian music. It's really for families. I would love to see families sponsor a kid tonight. Put it on the fridge. Every time you go to cook a meal, you pray for your sponsored child. So that sponsorship money will go to that child, which will in turn give them a great education. Whatever is left in that funding will go towards building these wells, building the school, building the clinic, and addressing a lot of the needs that they have. So I've seen it firsthand. I got to go to Cambodia a couple of years ago. This is not something I believe. This is something that I know. I know that we can help give this area a chance. So if you want to join me tonight, if you sponsor, again, it's $32 a month. One of the things that I've done, where'd my little boy go? Is there a little packet up there? Is it underneath the sheet? There it is. Okay. So this is my little boy. His name is Nelson. Okay? And I sponsored him last night. I have 3 other sponsored kids, but this is my new sponsor and sponsored kid. And the reason I picked him is we have the same birthday. So Nelson is my boy, okay? He's going on my fridge at home. One of the cool things that you can do, go and pick out a kid with your birthday. It's kind of fun. I like doing it that way. Or go and look at some of the faces. See if you connect with some of their stories. They're on the back. There's a table out in the lobby. Go look through those kids. These aren't just pieces of paper. These are living, breathing human beings. These are our future, and it's the future of Uganda, and I know that we can make a huge difference in this community. Again, I'm going in May, and with me, I will take, if you sponsor tonight, I'll take a Polaroid of you in front of this sheet right here, and this face, and you're going to go with me. You can write a letter. I'm going to hand deliver it to your sponsored child in May. So, let's bring the lights up. Our volunteers are down here. If you're interested right now, I'd love for you to raise your hand. They're going to come and find you. Or if you need to think about it, pray about it, go home and pray about this. This is like a big deal, $32 a month. But it literally can change a life. So raise your hands right now. They're looking for you. If you raise your hand, it doesn't mean that you're going to sponsor. It just means you're interested. Look at one of these. How's many hands? Oh, there's one over there. Okay, cool. One hand. If anybody, there's one. If anybody wants to sponsor tonight, fill this out, leave it at the table. Don't leave with these. Look at them and don't leave with them, because we have to get these kids sponsored before the end of the night. Again, this is not for everybody, but it might be for some of them. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you to our volunteers one more time.